Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joey G. This Sunday, November the 16th. Is it the 16th? Yeah, November the 16th, 2014. And yeah, the Eagles got their ass kicked today. I look like an asshole, like I said I would look. Yeah, we're still on, and the score is 53-20. I mean, what? I don't even know what to say. It's just like, it's crazy. I mean, like, I can't believe this is, like, going on. Like, to lose like we're losing, it's just, oh, it's just terrible. It's just, words can't describe it. I'm just, I mean, I could understand a close loss, but this, I mean, Sanchez, I mean, now I don't even know. I'll review it more tomorrow. More stories. I get on to some wrestling. I get on to something positive. One thing that is positive, though, I said the Rams would beat the Broncos, and the Rams beat the Broncos. I said Cincinnati would beat New Orleans. Cincinnati went into New Orleans and beat them. Okay? So, not all my picks were wrong. But the Giants, I called San Francisco to win, too, but I wanted the Giants because that's my other squad, and their season's over. The Eagles just need a lot to build on, and I'll do a lot tomorrow, when I review it and read the papers all, a little bit tonight and mostly tomorrow morning. And tomorrow night before Raw, I'll come at it with y'all. But today, the story I want to talk about is, this is in my words, the start of the Attitude Era. And it was the Kliq. The Kliq goes on strike. And this was in 1995, and this was right after King of the Ring. Right after King of the Ring here in Philly. Here in our old Spectrum in Philadelphia, it was the summer of 95. It was like July of 95. And they were doing house shows when house shows were big. And In Your House just started. It was like, they were like on the second In Your House. It was like when when Jeff Jarrett had the concert, It With My Baby Tonight. He held that concert and, he was lip singing. Remember, like a year later on Raw, they exposed him. The Road Dogg was the one really singing. Well, it was around that time. Yeah, it was around that time. And the Kliq, Nash Hall, HBK, Triple H, and Pac were in Indianapolis. And they said, we're not coming. Vince McMahon said, we're not coming. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were the most mad. And HBK was pretty pissed too, but Scott Hall was the most mad. And Kevin Nash, they were the most maddest of all. They were all pissed. Even Triple H, but he was just happy, he just started. I mean, this is July of 95. He just came in actually became a member of the Kliq in like May of 95. So he's like 2.5 months in with the Kliq, hanging with them. You know what I mean? But they always wanted to bring him in. You go back on YouTube, they always used to look at him and, have the rest. I heard the Mike stories from Shawn Michaels. They would sit around and chuckle, and they'd be in the back, or, they always hung out with each other. They were best friends, the Kliq. And shout out to the Kliq, my Kliq, what's up, Mikey Norris, Stace, Chick Kliq, everybody, Charlie O'Neill, Buddha Guns, H Diesel, Kliq for life. And, that's my Kliq now, but I have an original Kliq that I hung with when we were the Kliq, when I was younger, and I'll bring that up. It's another story for another time. All right, that's about me and my personal, life. And it's very, very funny stories I have to tell. But get back on to this little Kliq story. So the Kliq's in Indianapolis, okay? And Kevin Nash and Scott Hall told Vince, we do not like the way the creative stories are going. A lot of our contracts are coming up. And they were. And we saw what Kevin Nash did anyway, or Nash and Hall did anyway. So Vince McMahon knew there was something wrong. So he told Kevin Nash over the phone, stay in Indianapolis. I'm going to fly out there. They were in Stamford, Connecticut. He said, me and Gerald Briscoe, we're going to fly out there. Get a room. We're going to sit down in a room in a motel, at the Holiday Inn, wherever, the Marriott in Indianapolis, somewhere in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're going to talk. So Vince and Jerry Briscoe got the jet, and this is July of 95, flew to Indianapolis, got a room, and had the Kliq come in. And then the story from Triple H is, it was, mainly HBK, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and, Pac, X-Pac, the 1, 2, 3 kid, 6-Pac, whatever. And Triple H just came in, started hanging with them. So he wasn't even going to come in on the meeting. He was new, to be sitting there. He just said he went in just to say hi to Vince McMahon. He was leaving. And as he went in, they all sat down except Triple H. I mean, Nash, Hall, Shawn Michaels, Kidd, they all sat down. And Triple H just said, shook Jerry's hand, shook Vince's hand, was about to walk out the door. And Vince McMahon said to Hunter, where are you going? And he said, I'm going to go back. This ain't really my thing. I'm going to, go back up to the room. And Vince said, no, you're part of this now. Get in here. You're part of them. And that was like basically saying you're with them now. You know what I mean? You're with them now. And Vince sat him down and said, this is what we're going to do, and Kevin Nash laid it down simple for him. This was July of 95. And it's a shame that he dicked Vince over, and in May of 96, he went to the competition anyway, but money talks and bullshit walks, right? But Kevin Nash said we don't like the way, he made a good statement. I like it, and I want to share it with all you diehard wrestling fans. He said, and that was the year Michael Jordan came back, to 1995. Remember, he came back wearing 45, and then he changed to 23 because Nick Anderson said, I don't know who, remember Nick Anderson played for the Magic, and Michael Jordan played for the Bulls, and he was wearing 45, and it was a playoff game, and Nick Anderson used to play for the Magic, and he took Jordan to school. And he said, I don't know who number 45 is because he ain't related to number 23. And Jordan came out the next game wearing number 23 and, dashed, 55 of them. Nick Anderson made him look like a total asshole. It was great. But anyway, what do you call it? Kevin Nash said, Michael Jordan's the most popular athlete in the world. He's not a cop. He don't dress up like a cop. He don't dress up like a clown. You know what I mean? He don't dress up like a friggin' a dumpster guy. He dresses up like a basketball player, and he goes to the arena, and he plays. He's the most popular athlete in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like what Kevin Nash was saying, why do we need clowns? Why do we need cops? Why do we need dumpster guys? Why do we need T.L. Hopper? Why do we need Mantar? Even though Justin Incredible, wore a friggin' thong on his face, why do we need people like that? Why can't we let them just be wrestlers? With a gimmick. But why can't they just be normal instead of wearing these stupid costumes, And, or at least if you're going to make it a character or a gimmick, make it cool. Make it something, And like Goldust. Goldust was like a product of the Kliq. I mean, I know Scott Hall didn't like it, but that was a lot of the Goldust was the Kliq's idea. You know what I mean? Sean Waltman, Kevin Nash. HBK, Scott Hall wasn't really down with it. I know that. But I know Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman had a big hand in creating the Dustin Reynolds character. When the WWE signed Dustin Rhodes, he said, I don't want to come in here with the name, just because he was in the WWE before Dustin Rhodes. If you remember, when he was there with his dad, when Dusty Rhodes used to wear the polka dots in the WWE in the late 80s. In the early 90s, I remember he was at SummerSlam 90 at the old Spectrum and right down here on 95. So he said, I don't want to come in here as Dustin Rhodes, it was beating WCW as a natural. It was, I was always living in my dad's shadow. So he came out and became Goldust. And you know what? Dusty hated it. As much as he says it that WWE Classics before the network came on, as much as he said, I was so intrigued, he hated it. He hated it. And the Monday Night Wars might have started, but after the first, I think the first three Nitros made a beat Raw, they were real close, and it went back to regular. 1 week Raw would win, 1 week Nitro would win. I did a big tryout trilogy on them, you know what I mean? And it was like that until, Hall and Nash eventually left. But the thing was, in that hotel room in Indianapolis, Vince McMahon gave the WWE roster to all 5 of the Kliq members. Justin Incredible. Well, you got to remember, at that time, Justin Incredible and Louis Spicoli, Rad Radford, that was his gimmick. And what do you call it? And Justin Incredible's Altoya, Man of War, whatever. He wore the thong on his face. They were on the lower card. Real lower. Kid was so good in the ring. People don't know how good Sean Waltman is. And, Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall are my 2 favorite wrestlers of all time, but Sean Waltman's right in there as well. And so is Kevin Nash, and so is Triple H. Hey, Triple H might be a dick, but do you know Triple H personally? Do you know him personally? How can you call somebody a dick if you saw what they said in an interview? I call Troy Martin, a.k.a. Shane Douglas, I don't like him. You know what I mean? I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And I met him. I met him in person. I don't hate nobody. Hate's a strong word. I never say hate. I might hate like the Dallas Cowboys. I hate that team. Yeah. I don't hate the person, though. Hate is a strong word. Hate is a very strong word. I don't use the word hate. I use the word dislike. I dislike Shane Douglas. I would slap Shane Douglas in his mouth. And Troy Martin, this is Joey G talking to you. Your promotion sucks, okay? Let Joey G, you want your company to do something? Let me run it. So anyway, let me get back to my story. Vince just, and Kevin Nash and then Triple H did a lot of the talking for the Kliq. Like Kevin said, he was our wheel man. He was young, even though he was older than Kid, he was the newest to the group and he didn't drink. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke weed, he didn't take pills. The Kliq's main thing was drinking and taking pills. And they smoked a little weed. But, when they went out of the club, I think they did some blow. But their main thing was drinking and taking pills. Kevin Nash, they all said it. But Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helms, didn't do none of that. Once in a while, he'd have a beer, and Shawn Michaels would say it would take him the whole night to finish one beer, one Budweiser, one Coors Light. You know what I mean? The weakest beer there is. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do none of that. I mean, and he laid it out to the Kliq. He said, I'm not like this. I don't drink. He hung with the Kliq because they were his real friends. And you could tell because they stuck with him. But he was the wheel man. You know what I mean? Like, there was an interview on a podcast with Steve Austin, and Steve Austin said, "But all you guys, you got all you alpha males in the van traveling down the road together." He's like, "You got Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. Who's the leader?" And Scott Hall goes, "Me, Steve." Next question. Scott, you're the man for life. Scott was like, "Me." He's like, "I was the leader of the NWO too. You just didn't see it on TV." He's like, "I controlled everything in the NWO. Me and Kev thought of all the, and the Kid thought of all the good ideas for the NWO. Hulk Hogan didn't. Eric Bischoff didn't. We did. Just like we did in WWE. You know what I mean? The Kliq runs this wrestling business. Straight up. And I'm just pissed off about the Eagles losing. All you people want to get on me about the Eagles losing. The Giants era, it's over. It's over. The Coughlin, Eli Manning era is over. Eli will stay. Coughlin will go, and he'll get a job somewhere else. So we'll go back to coaching in college. Tom Coughlin's a good coach. And that's why I'm a little pissed off today. That Grand Slam rant I did yesterday, that was just the name of the show. I'm really in a very bad mood right now. You know what I mean? The Eagles have gotten their fucking ass handed to them. They got their ass handed to them. I don't know what they were doing, but everybody's entitled to get their ass whooped. I mean, this is the first game all year we really got blown out. I mean, if you look at it. But the thing was, it was by a good team. I mean, the only good team we beat this year, I mean, if you look at it, the only good team we beat with a 500 record was the Colts. You know what I mean? It's the only good team we beat. And they played New England tonight, and I hope they lose. I hope New England beats them because I like New England. I like Tom Brady. I'm not really a Patriots fan. I'm more of a player fan with other teams, and I like Tom Brady. So yeah, I want the Patriots. I like Andy Luck, but I like Tom Brady better. So yeah, I want the Patriots to win. But that was like Triple H said in that room in Indianapolis. He said, even though it was 95, that was the first spark I saw of Vince saying, "This we do got to change." And when Nitro came on the air, and then the ratings started for WWE, and WCW started to go like that, you know what I mean? It was, they had to go there. And it took them to the summer of 97 to finally do it, you know what I mean? They were teasing it for like the whole 97, and finally the end of the summer of 1997, they teamed Shawn and Hunter up, and they started doing the suck it, and Shawn would act like he's doing this, and they were doing everything, and Shawn would be humping the ground, and they would make it interesting again, you know what I mean? And like I said, the Kliq saved wrestling, and they did. The Kliq, not WCW and the NWO, not the Attitude Era. The Kliq. The Kliq saved wrestling, straight up. The Kliq saved wrestling, and the Eagles just had a friggin' meltdown today. I don't care how many views I get on this one. Like I said, when I get big and popular in Hollywood or wherever I go, these videos, cha-ching, winning, cha-ching, winning, cha-ching, winning. All I do is win and get girls, man. Women. Now I get women. You know what I mean? But this is Joey G. I'll be at you tomorrow night with a Raw review and a whole Eagles review tomorrow during the day, and a Raw preview tomorrow night before Raw. I'm going to do it a little earlier tomorrow night so you fans can see it. Like, again, I'm sorry if Vince McMahon wasn't on SmackDown the other night. That's something I heard. Joey G does not lie. I'm the future head creative of WWE or any wrestling company. Sports voice, soap operas, whatever. Joey G is your man. Shout outs to John and Sean, the Philly Fanatic, 97 the Fanatic. Shout outs to Kevin Castle and Don Tony. Joey G for life. I'm taking over. This is Joey G. I'm out. Peace, dicks. Later.